Hello, welcome to what I'd say a special episode or some sort. Basically, this is me going through ranked with the Rat of Mages, aka Is It Dex Drake. Basically, it's a case of showing how the deck is not as bad as it's supposed to be. Well, you're gonna hear me say this phrase all the time. Basically, this is me going through the deck to show that's actually possible to win with this deck. It's not a complete wash. And just as I'm about to say that, opponent is playing this. Is this mono blue? I would like this to be mono blue. Oh no, it's blue. Ooh, this is the other flavor that I could have gone. Essentially I could have gone blue. I could have gone wizards. That's the other way I could have done this deck. Unfortunately, I spent so much time doing the Drake's version. It had a good running. So I felt like I should have gone there. That said, I'm now concerned that I have to face off against really cheap spells now. Let's see what our opponent's got. At least we got an Ionize on the board, but we might be in trouble unless we can. Okay, I'll keep that in the library. Probably not gonna bop them immediately. They're playing the Electromancers because they are countering spells. So I'm gonna at least counter something first. The bad news is... Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this deck's made... Yeah, I'm starting to think that even the Wizard's plan is much better. I forgot... Oh, no, the Electromancers are Wizards. The Gutter Snipes are Shamans. So let's graveyard that. I can just play the Terramander, but it does absolutely nothing. I'm actually gonna just hold it up. Hopefully I can draw into 5th land. I can then just fight with fire, burn these two off. Right now our opponent's literally just playing mono red. I have no idea what the blue is for. I'm literally just taking damage for no good reason. Oh, this is Grixis. Okay, so can't copy anything. Can't copy anything. Probably worst keep ever. So let's see if I can actually... Let's see if I can actually get something like this. I'm gonna copy it. Oh, okay, first, this one's, okay, point out the other one. Probably get it, oh, no fighters. So we kind of stabilize. Our opponent's now gonna drop something big. Try the next one. I guess that's big. Tormenting Voice to draw cards, ditches Lava Coil. I guess now it's safe to play, one of these guys, so definitely gonna graveyard this one. Got Quench. Okay, so I'll play the Goblin Enigma Drake now. Okay, Ops okay. Opponent likes what he sees, which is not a good sign. It might be really bad if it comes to the point where we are forced to quench an opponent's shock. As it is, let's see what big stuff. 6 mana. I'm willing to trade. At least it gets effect off the board. Shock. Sure. Last card's are nothing, so I'm gonna ditch the Lava Coil. Transform because we need the mana. Gonna play Terramander first. So we need 3 mana to buff it, so we'll just pass. At least we got our opponent well done. Oh, it's gonna cast Lava Coil. Yeah, we're ionizing that. Surprise, we actually have And we actually have enough mana thanks to that spell. So at least we're out of lava coil range. And give our opponent something to think about. It's not over yet. Single Banefire can kill us. I'm gonna end it right here. I'm not gonna ended it himself. Thankfully I didn't have to show the Banefire. So our opponent knows we're Drake, so he's definitely gonna have more lava coils. It's actually interesting. Do we even... I'm willing to keep the lava coils for our opponent's Goblin Electromancers. I'm assuming our opponent has some sort of higher creature. If you're playing Grixis, you're playing things like Nicol Bolas. So I'm actually gonna board in even more lava coils. Gonna ditch the mission briefings. That's about it. We can't side and syncopate. We're on the draw. This might actually be okay. I'm tempted to put in shock, but all I saw were just 3 Goblin Electromancers and nothing else. So it's hard to say what we should do. Also, I've noticed that our opponent is playing Goblin Electromancer, but didn't seem to benefit much from it. As in, he wasn't playing any really big spells. So I really have no clue what our opponent's up to. So all I'm doing right now is just playing the lava coils on the assumption that he has things like Nicol Bolas. Trying to remember what others... It won't answer a Doom Whisperer. It won't answer... No, it can answer a bunch of other interesting stuff. It will answer Hostage Taker. So that takes care of the blue-red, that takes care of Grixis. Then it takes care of blue-black. Could he have his own Drakes? That might be an interesting thing. So either case, it's good to have the lava coil. Hard to say you want to put shocks. You kind of want the shocks for something like Celestia. This is scary. We just need one more land to get Quench's life, but these cards are dead otherwise. Only kept a hand of 7. Okay, we're gonna live with it. Probably worst decision ever. Okay, maybe not so bad anymore. Thought... Oh no! Opponent's the one in trouble. So I'm gonna pass. If he has opt, I'm not going to counter it. That's so... Okay, so we did win this one game, but... one match, but it's hard... I tell you, this is not how I win most of my matches. Okay, fine. We'll just do another one right now. So, I guess it's a case where both of us kept really risky hands. Sometimes it's not fair. I got paid off for it, our opponent did not. I guess having the opt is one reason for me to keep that hand. I guess that's why I'm actually a proponent of not putting opt. It forces you to keep really risky hands when you shouldn't have. So I'm willing to keep this one. Between Blink and Lava Coil, we have answers. We can mission briefing something on the interim. So playing Sulfur Falls first. Playing Swamp. Okay, got Quench. That's good. Thank goodness no, there's no turn 1 duress. No, he would have missed a punch. No Taunt Erasure, though I would have loved to quench that. I'm not gonna play the Enigma Drake just yet. This looks like a Dimir mid-range build. This information, yeah, we're quenching that. This is usually that's usually their card advantage engine. Getting rid of that does wonders. So gonna hold this off. He's probably not gonna expect the so I have the option of mission briefing quench. Or I can bounce whatever big thing he plays. Water erasure. Yeah, we're gonna have to do mission briefing. He might have a negate. So I'm actually gonna ditch the fight. I'm gonna keep the Terramander. Well, it's not a big deal. It just forces him to pay 2 mana. But he would have seen my entire hand anyways. He's gonna get rid of the Enigma Drake as I kind of predicted. So it's a good thing I left the Terramander up. When he's ditching cast down, also a good time to cast Terramander. And I have Blink to protect it. Opponent's playing Grixis again. There's an Eldest Reborn. I'm okay with discarding any of these. Problem's the Enigma. It's gonna back. I'm gonna ditch the Crackling Drake. So that's 4 spells. 1 mana shy of boosting it. He knows he's gonna get my Enigma Drake. So he has that going for him. He's only got, what, 3 spells? A knife. Ooh! I've not seen that in a while. Let's go first card. So we got our own Enigma Drake. We're gonna just Lava Coil or Terramander instead before he gets to adapt it. So he gets the only creature, the only viable creature. It's a 3/4. Ours is 5/4. So let's ditch that one. Back to back. We're literally playing stuff off the top of our deck. Okay, at least we have Ral mana. If we have to draw Niv-Mizzet, I'm gonna just concede right then and there. So this version, I'm still curious what the red is for. I would like to see what it is. I'm guessing it's for removal. He's gonna force me to discard. I'm gonna concede right there. He does not need to know that. So since we're on the play, we're putting Syncopates in. He doesn't have any creatures yet. I'm willing to take the Lava Coils out because I'm still keeping some sort of removal. I can also copy his if I have to. Definitely keeping the mission briefings. So I'm gonna drop 2 of the ops. Oh no, hey, what did I cut? Let's put that in. I'm gonna cut the Lava Coils. Yeah, let's put. So just cut 1 opt. Okay, so we need to be careful with the mana we keep now. At least I can show you that. Oh, I'm not just cherry picking the wins here. That'd be nice at least to get 1 game off this. And I'm pretty sure you all know that this is not representative of what happens there. So, entering tap. I could have just played the Terramander immediately. Probably should have. So our opponent is now expecting quench. He's gonna kind of respect that. Gonna counter it right away just to get a live Enigma Drake. This week, gotta hold on, nothing else. If any, forces our opponent to keep his removal spells, cast down, and whatnot. Oh, search. Opponent might be stuck on mana. We're gonna play our own search. One just to not fall behind. Okay, fine, we'll play the Terramander. If he's probably not gonna be packing stuff like Golden Demise or Cry of the Carnarium just for Terramander's. Probably not gonna do that. Erasure, bye-bye Crackling Drake. Yeah, I could have played the Crackling Drake. I would have lost the search for Escanta. I think this is much more valuable. Getting into place. Minister's Insight. Botanical Library. I can actually make our get our opponent to make us discard this one. Well, he has to either make us discard this card in hand or remove the Enigma Drake. Let's see what he does. Disinformation campaign, sure. Or I could have kept the land. So resolve. Okay. I'm gonna ditch that in the graveyard first. Because for some horrible reason I knew I was gonna draw a second one. Spell Pierce? Okay. Can't be helped, but at least we're slightly faster in getting stuff in the grave. So our opponent putting Spell Pierce, this means he's willing to play a counter war. I'd sell Freebooter and get empty. I might be tempted to just ditch another. Yeah, let's ditch that one. That's kind of meaningless. Don't know why I did that. Probably should have held back, but oh well. If it gets him to swing, it's okay. Okay, Dream Eater. He's gonna make us bounce either the Search or the Enigma Drake. Probably Search because it's about to become live. There you go. Draw into when shirt done. So no attacks. The only important trick here is I know he's going to cast Disinformation campaign. I know I'm going to try to counter it but fail. But more importantly, I'm going to have a treat. Oh, he let me counter it? He probably has cast out. That's the only reason you'd let me counter it. So card advantage engine, what's up? Another Disinformation campaign. We got greedy, so let's graveyard that. Let's. Is he gonna block? He has options. I'm willing to trade. He's gonna flip his also. So we're now gonna be in a battle of Ascanta's ruins. Has surveillance, sure. He does get to, so that's interesting. Water erasure. Just regular blink, targeting the enhanced surveillance. So he gets the disinformation campaign back anyway, but at least they're all here. Also, let's resolve that. Let's see if he mistakenly attacks. So I actually get choices now. I can information campaign, sure, resolve. Is he gonna attack? Victory, nothing special. At least we know we can try to draw for stuff, but we have to be careful with our timing. At least all the discard stuff is in sorcery speed, so we have that going for us. So freebooter. He had the right idea, it's just the timing was wrong. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. I want the canisters inside. Yeah, too late for syncopate. Not too late for ionize. So a single Terramander holds everything. Wait, he's casting something. Digging, sure. Connive, concoct. This is interesting. It's probably gonna concoct something like, say, the Dream Eater. It's gonna pass. Have a counter spell for that. Negate. No, I'm not gonna counter that because there's something better to counter. So my turn. So at least while we still have the advantage, we'll take advantage of that. Yeah, very. Very poor wording. Cast down. Definitely ionizing that. We're gonna have to opt for a counter. Oh, he didn't try. He can still get Dream Eater. Yeah, he's gonna concoct for Dream Eater. Can't use this one, so I have to use this one. Hope I draw into... Well, Quench is not gonna work. Mountain's not gonna work. Enigma Drake's gonna work. Sure, why not? So he replays Dream Eater, gets back this information campaign. I play out my entire board. He could get my Enigma Drake or Crackling Drake instead. Yeah, having too many decision points might not be the greatest idea. Especially when you know what your next 6 cards are going to be. There's a blink. So definitely casting this. Casting this. Only one mana to activate then. So we know if he tries to go for the disinformation campaign, I'm just gonna bounce his enhanced surveillance. I'm not gonna bounce his Dream Eater because it's just gonna come back. Sure, it's a good way to waste his time. It also wastes my time a bit too. That's down. Yeah, sure. So he gets to recast it again or just play as Kanta. That's another cast down. I'm gonna be so... Wait, he's played 1, 2 cast downs. Dead weight. Terramander. End the turn. Probably gonna eat another kill spell. How many blinks have we used? We've used 1, 2. We got a third blink. Can't exactly rely on that though. So this is gonna be this is a really long match. Oh, he's gonna fight back again. Down, so I'm going to play this one first. Quench doesn't do it. I don't. It's all gonna go in the bottom, so I'm gonna just grab the quench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna force him to use up all his mana right now. So if he wants to do this and cast Concoct, he let it counter. Oh, because he can connive. Yeah, he can connive instead. That's a problem. Oh wait, he's going for the Concoct anyway. He could have taken my Terramander. That would have been cheaper. And he definitely has the spells for it. Not sure bouncing it back's a good. He gets to look at the next 6 cards. So, we got Syncopate up. Disinformation campaign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can do it for 5. Do it for 4. Oh, he lets me counter it instead. That means he has something better. Was reborn. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, why the heck not? So we're not gonna be taking damage. Now we have to worry about this as well. I don't think the quench is gonna do it, so I'm gonna actually just try this. Briefing into Blink, mission briefing into Syncopate, mission briefing into Quench. I can pass. I still have the Lava Coils here, I just haven't dropped it. bounce the Dream Eater. It's non-land permanent and opponent control, so it doesn't so he can't bounce this back. And if it gets in the gate, it's probably gonna counter with it. Sure. I'll take it. Not the greatest thing in the world. Considering I now have to face off against my own Drake, I might have to even run. Okay. Spend more mana. Yeah, my theory was right. It's just, but I never drew into, well, it's too late if I draw to a Lava Coil now. If I force the Lava Coil this one, then I lose to the other. Shuffles his library. I guess that makes sense. Though I doubt, yeah, I doubt I have any more legs after this. So Expansion Explosion. Yeah, it can't mission briefing into anything yet. It's a good game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. He probably has to counter spell anyway. Yeah, that's it. Well, let our opponent have the honor swinging in. So, win some, we lose some. I don't think we could have sided anything else. The water knot maybe, but it was in our interest to destroy the creature rather than just put. Could use more exile effects. We don't get to see those in blue. So all we got is Lava Coil. Good game against. Oh no, it's not a cracker. It's literally just a. It's literally just a gray hand. Isn't that a rotten one already? Anyway, so. I guess we have a nice blink target. So Highland Lake, we need the double blue at least. Slowpoint Sentry, okay. So we're definitely bouncing the token. Actually, let's kill one token right now. Let's force our opponent to overextend since he's committed to this plan. Flip Legion's Landing. If he flips this one, the number of cards in his hand doesn't matter anymore. So this looks like mono white with a side of evil. So big beating. I can buy some time with blink, then I can buy some time by blinking these two. Yeah. Wait. Question, do I blink one of the... No, I have to blink this one. Should get him another token, which is probably a mistake. I should have blinked these guys earlier during my turn. No kill spells. And unfortunately, I need to draw an island and a kill spell, so yeah, this one's... Okay. There's my lava coil target, but... Definitely gonna attack with these instead of playing the Loxodon. Or no, he could just play the Loxodon. That might actually be a better plan. It's not like I have a huge sweeper waiting for him. Yeah, he's gonna see. And he can just cast it. And he can just cast this at cost. Oh, another Luminous Landing. Go figure. And he can cast this one to buff it. Got the Niv Mizzet, but let's see. He makes one more, that's it. So let's concede here. So this is the matchup where we want all our fast removals. So shocks come in, lava coils come in, Trancing Melody comes in, syncopates come in, ops go out, mission briefing goes. I guess I can drop the Ionize since everything goes fast. Banefire is okay. Fight with Fire is okay. Expansion Explosion, let's cut one copy. Let's also cut one Crackling Drake. Or I should just cut the Chemister's Insight instead. Bring in another Blink. This is not the hand I want to keep. This is more keepable, but I could use a second mana. So this goes in the bottom. So come on, second mana. Need a 2. More. That's okay. False, that's okay too, so I'm not gonna deal with this one. I'm gonna deal with everything else. So he's thinking about it. Gonna pretend I'm stuck, which is kind of slightly true. I'm just looking at her mana, menacing manner. Yep. We got all the counter spells we need. But don't tell me our opponent's gonna just play 9 lands to keep Benalia. Definitely punching that. Still got nothing. Taker. Yeah, it's definitely quenching that. Believe me, I want another land too. It's not like I'm sandbagging. Taker. Can't syncopate that, but I can lava coil it. Okay. And because I should have used the syncopate on the earlier if I knew he had Tide Taker. So I think we got another Sulfur Falls. So no point trying to syncopate, I'm just gonna lava coil the Tide Taker. To Vanguard. could shock it just to force him to have something. Let's see how important this is to him. Okay, it's quite important. 4 mana. I'm gonna pause on this because I can still Chemister's Insight. I can take one hit. 4 mana. Take the hit. Show me what you got at 5. Venerated Loxodon? It's landing. Can't counter that. Aspirant. Definitely countering that. Problem is he might have a better 2-drop. So I can't lava coil this. I can lava coil this one. Actually, might be a case of it's paint fire to token. The sentry, even though I suspect there's a venerated Loxodon incoming. Okay, 5 mana. Shalai. Okay, we fight Shalai with fire. Let's search, unfortunately, but I have to use it now. So next turn I might have to just play the Crackling Drake. I don't think... Wait, one still got Sky Marcher. Yeah, I'll have to play Crackling Drake because I need to join the land. This would be annoying if that's Excellence Binding. Okay, at least you got a removal spell. Let's just complete Tribunal. Kind of block this forever unless this is yet another removal spell. Another Conclave Tribunal. Yeah, so we're down to 1. Not the greatest matchup. Still have 1 out some sort. I'll be annoyed if it turns out he's got back-to-back tribunals. Definitely search now. Nope, it's a Tide Taker, which is probably just as bad. Venerated Loxodon, so we need more blockers for all of these guys. Crackling Drake will get us a card, but it won't get us the win. 1. Actually, I'll keep it because we get to flip this. We get to draw one. We need one particular. That's not it. Oh well, that was a good shot. We just got nearly overwhelmed in the end. What we got room for one more. So probably holding onto the shock for longer might have been a better idea. Yeah, I could have held on to that shock. That's a mistake. So drop down to gold tier 3, that was okay. I've been hovering over tier 3 for quite a while. Let's give this one another shot. Maybe I could get a better win than just that one win earlier. It's more like a half win, to be honest. interesting. Definitely mulligan. I guess another concern would be cards like this. We want to have card draw. I suppose Chart the Course might be better. You get to play them a lot earlier. Okay, I'm willing to keep this one. Okay, definitely willing to keep that one. So I'm gonna play the Terramander turn 1. Only because I got nothing better to do. Might have slightly paid off. Pay the 2 life. Let's represent something, anything. So this is probably Grixis also. Oh, hard to say. Play something by now. Okay, for Chemistry's Insight, I'll counter this. No counter, no burn spell. Okay, I'm really curious now what our opponent's deck is. Blue-red's generally faster at this point. Okay, he's thinking of something. Insight. I probably should just quench it. No, I'm gonna copy it. Then I'll just quench whatever the follow-up is. You can have it. Just really curious. This can't be an all-land hand. Oh, there's white. Now we're cooking. Excellence Binding. Okay. Terramander. Sure, let's keep that on top. So it's format. Okay, I'm gonna opt once. See if you can get another counter spell. Chemistry's Insight's okay. So it's 3-2. Opponent's got a ton of cards. Okay, he's got this tons of mana. Drake. I could. I'll let that resolve. He draws a card. Just milling it off this card. Play the second Terramander. So we know it's... Okay, he's got 7 mana now. He's gonna keep playing around Quench because he's seen it. Cleansing Nova... Yeah, sure. Let that resolve. Yeah, probably should held it back. But I still have the Enigma Drake. Chemistry. At this point, I'm gonna just run the Rel. No, I'm gonna run the Enigma Drake first. If I'd known I was gonna run, well, I can still ditch this Chemistry's Insight, so it's okay. Also got some sort of backup. It's now at 8 mana, and Only answers, no questions. Fire, x equals 5 can't be countered. Sure, let that resolve. Anyways, doing things one at a time. He's got his own quench. Who would have thunk? I should attack if
come on.
Drawn into crackling Drake.
Weight is killing me.
That said, I am gonna ditch the Nickel Drake. So yeah, pass the turn. Let's force our opponent to try to answer that. Probably has an answer for that. No? Keeping the Banefire. I should keep the Blink to protect, but okay. Now he has to respect this. Probably another counter spell. Waiting for our opponent to sort of tap out. He's yet to present an actual threat. Well, he has his own Crackling Drake, so this could be Jeskai Drakes. I suppose this is one way to improve the matchup, going to a third color. Though our opponent doesn't have the dual lands. They just Niv missed it. Oh, he's been stuck on 2 red for a long time. Okay, so this is literally sort of a mirror match. So he's gonna bring in more counter spells. We know he's got Drake, so Lava Coils come in. Beacon Bolt comes in. Let's drop the... I'm gonna cut one opt and the mission briefings. Let's keep it at that. Can keep Expansion Explosion because we have spells that we can always copy. Yeah, if any one of those lands had been a dual land, we would have been facing off against Niv a lot earlier. It would have been a bigger problem considering all the spells he casts. Yeah, normally it's preferable to draw first if you're trying to play control. Drake's is somewhat different where it's mid-range and control. Where you have a mid-range to late game plan, everything else, if you can't do any of that, you have to control. If you can do neither, then you're in trouble. Opponent's taking its time deciding to draw. Could be a disconnect, I suppose. So right now, if I were to make an adjustment to the deck, it's basically just dual lands. Entrancing Melody is still probably a good idea. Bumping out copies on that. Sinister Sabotage might be better. An alternate plan to this, I had some success with this one. Maybe cut down some of the Drakes. Just stick with then add some of the Goblin Wizards. We have a lot of spells, but they cost quite a bit. Being able to shave 1 generic mana off the cost does wonders. I could actually just put the Terramanders on the sideboard. Yeah, it looks like a disconnect from our opponent's side, so yet another. So very weird. Opponent's choosing, kept a hand. It's an auto keep. I don't want to auto keep this. We got nothing, so I'm just mulling. Okay, this is slightly better. That's not. Did our opponent literally disconnect? That might be a problem. Oh yeah, and while we're waiting to see if our opponent is still around or had some other technical issues, saw a notice recently that yes, there's a sort of accusation of somebody stream sniping. We figured that it's probably not gonna wasn't gonna happen in Arena for quite a while, given how fast matches come about. Big long list of streamers and whatnot. You'd have to remember probably a good list of the names. But it turns out someone managed to luck into it. So are we gonna get to the sit? Okay, I guess our opponent really disconnected. So I slightly undeservedly go back to gold tier 2. I got a little time. I'm gonna go for one more match. That might be another thing. Would it be better if I just simply did 5 games of ranked back instead of going through the queue? Now, admittedly, there is some sort of reward, but I feel like there's a disconnect between queue and rank in terms of. Well, it's actually not true. You do find some good matchups. It's just that sometimes it feels like you're unrewarded. I'm definitely mulling this one. I'm definitely keeping this one. I am definitely not keeping that on top. So, fortunately, I'm not opting anytime soon, but I get the option to quench it. Okay. So at least I have the option to quench. No, this is probably just... Oh, Mardu. What's up? Hero... Auto quench. The amount of card advantage this guy generates is unbelievable. I'm actually gonna just play the Enigma Drake now. Force our opponent to have some sort of removal. Should be easy. But if our opponent's removing this, he's not casting... I'm not gonna cast Expansion Explosion on the off chance... On the off chance our opponent casts a removal spell. Okay, shame, but I will keep that on top. Because let's see, the usual targets are spells like Mortify. Okay, not gonna do that. It's probably not a creature spell, which might be a problem. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Okay, thankfully it's not multicolored. I think I can see the engine already. He's gonna sack these. So yuck. I'm not gonna wait for him to take advantage of this. So it probably means I'm gonna lose the Drake next turn. So I'm gonna take 5 damage on the crackback. Ooh, I'm gonna take a lot more. I'm now on the defensive. I need to hold up Quench and Expansion Explosion, so I'm gonna pass. Which means I might have to just keep blocking this guy. At least these guys don't have lifelink. on, cast something expensive. Pass. So I take 2, 3, 4. Oh, it didn't matter. I was gonna die anyway. So I need to bring in all my cheap removal now. He's using Priest of the Forgotten Gods. He's using Hero Reinforcements. He's got way too many slots for small creatures. So those come in. Entrancing Melody comes in. So mission briefings come out. Ops come out. Syncopates come in. Cut 1 Crackling Drake, 1 Chemister's Insight. Cut 1 Blink. Actually no, cut the second Blink. Bring in a Beacon Bolt. So let's see if we can at least get 1 game off this guy. Yeah. Really hard to say. Well, we're not gonna win with this hand. We might win with this hand. So definitely keeping this one. Search is tempting. My opponent knows we have Quench, so he might play the long game. He's gonna play Thunderbows. So I'm actually going to just play the Search. Need to get that advantage going. I might actually even steal the Gutter Bones. As poor of a usage as that. I'd rather steal this one. It's gonna take a while though. Terramander Graveyard. We need lands. Beacon Bolt's not gonna happen. Okay, let's pass. Yeah, I could have taken this one. Let's see what's our opponent's situation. So we need at least 1 more land to at least get something off hero. Ooh, yuck. Let's resolve that. It's probably not gonna kill something else. Oh, wait. There's hope for me yet. For a Hero of Precinct 1 deck, there's a lot of cards that are not necessarily multicolored, but they're all good, to be fair. So, definitely graveyarding that one. Okay, there we go. So, we could start killing stuff. I'm gonna steal his advantage engine. Force our opponent to kill it. So he's got 4 cards. Next turn we can start Beacon Bolting these some side guys, but we're still gonna be taking some hits with this one. Might Fiend at this week. Better Bones. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we're ill equipped to answer this deck. Wait, maybe not. Here's the thing, as soon as I'm... So I can Beacon Bolt one of these guys so that the timing is off. Wait. That's a recipe for disaster. Oh, we get the bonus piece. Now we're incentivized to keep this guy alive, but... Oh, he's gonna snipe this one too, so... No attacks. End turn. So I can ping the... What? Not exactly giving me the option. I'm gonna bounce these guys instead. Okay, we're 1 card short of hitting Ascanta. So we lose the Hero Precinct 1, but we at least force him to spend his mana on this. quite expensive. Okay, unfortunately that goes up in the library. I could just jumpstart the sync. Oh, thank goodness it cast it correctly. Still 6 cards. That means even if we flip this, we probably are still not going to survive anytime soon. That thing's just going to keep coming back. Yeah, I'd play this. So, graveyard, transform, syncopate. Okay, not the greatest use. At least we can counter something. I might just have to take the hit from these guys. 3 bits for Viva. No, we have to counter that. So X equals 3. Let's just make it 4. Semi got the bullet, but our life source was still open. Oh, we forgot to activate that. Oh, wow. So gonna lose. Well, we did our best. We used up most of our... Yeah, that's good. So there you go. We've kind of proven that the deck is really not what it's cut out to be. So probably gonna skip the deck building stage a bit here, but I'm gonna just make a few notes. One being, yeah, you want more entrancing melodies. Being able to take those low-cost creatures are great. It's better than mass manipulation in this case because you want to have the option to cast this early. Interestingly enough, I have no matchup against Hydroid Krasis or whatnot. I also expected that deck to have more spells to counter. It's a good thing I kept with conditional in terms of cost rather than conditional in terms of let's see, rather this kind of conditional, only because there are so many spells this one misses. I guess in the long run I would probably just cut these out in favor of chart. Have a lot of earlier plays, and I guess you can use Perilous Voyage instead of Blink, but I like the flexibility of being able to just straight out draw a card. It's probably better than Scry 2. Radical Idea is another cheap way to get card draw, but for what you're spending, it's probably not worth it. Favorable Winds is a way to go up against the mirror match, though I'm starting to think we're not going to see that many mirror matches anytime soon. Overall, I think you might be better off with a straight up Wizards build than this one. At least you get to be a lot more aggressive with that. But I guess we'll save that for another time. If for some reason we're able to revisit this deck again, I'm probably going to go straight to Wizards instead of Drakes. I guess the time of the Drake has long passed. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on notifications, whatnot. And thank you very much for watching. And I guess we can all learn that sometimes what used to be great isn't that great anymore. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time.